Bow chicka wow wow. Reused human tea. That's brilliant. Hey you! Thank you so much for being here. Today we will be reviewing Stardust. It's got Claire Danes, Charlie Cox, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Robert De Niro. We open near a village called Wall, so named for the wall that runs beside it, said to hide an extraordinary secret. Young Dunstan tricks the guard at the gap in the wall and finds another village with great oddities, creatures, and magic. There he meets a beautiful stall wench who has been enslaved by a gnarly, gross witch. The stall wench is like, "Will you liberate me?" Dunstan tries to cut the chain around her ankle, only for it to be magically restored. And he's like, "If I can't liberate you, then what do you want of me?" Bow chicka wow wow, chicka wow wow. 9 months later, an unexpected souvenir is delivered by the guard to Dunstan. A baby named Tristan. Shout out to the single dads. 18 years later, knowing nothing of his conception, Tristan, played by Cox, is set on winning the heart of his crush Victoria. Tristan goes to see Victoria only for Humphrey, another suitor, to show up. Humphrey, who's played by Henry Cavill, in this movie, he looks like Pewds. Teleporting naked, guys. Humphrey's a dick, and Tristan tries to fence him but is bested and embarrassed in front of Victoria. Back at Tristan's house, Tristan's dad tries to raise his spirits by saying, "So you don't fit in with the popular crowd. I take that as a very good omen, and it's very, very sweet." Away past the wall, the king of all Stormhold is on his deathbed. His many sons have been killing one another to ascend the throne, as he did himself with his siblings. To try and resolve the situation about who was going to ascend the throne, the king puts a spell on a ruby necklace, turning it diamond-like. Only one of royal blood can restore the ruby necklace and become the next king of Stormhold. And the necklace flies off into the sky as the king dies. Tristan again tries to win the heart of Victoria by taking her on a romantic, expensive nighttime picnic. They see a shooting star, and Tristan says that he would travel all the way to the shooting star and come back and give it to Victoria for her hand in marriage. She gives Tristan 1 week until her birthday to return with the shooting star, or she's gonna marry Humphrey. I hate teleporting naked guys. And we cut to a crater where the star has landed, and we see a beautiful woman with the necklace beside her. Not far from there, we are introduced to the witch Lamia, played by Pfeiffer. She's looking all old and weak and run down, and she runs excitedly back into her lair to tell her 2 sisters of the shooting star. They have waited 4 centuries for a star to fall. You see, if they eat the star's heart, the former glory of their powers and youth will be restored. The sisters decide that Lamia will be the one to hunt down the star, and she eats the remaining of the last star that fell, transforming into a beautiful, gorgeous, stunning Michelle Pfeiffer. She turns into Michelle Pfeiffer. Back in Wall, Tristan tries to pass through the gap in the wall only to be bested by the guard. He goes home and his father shares his origin story with him. He hands Tristan a candle wrapped in a letter. It's from his mother explaining her sadness about not being able to keep him and her desire to one day meet him. The letter says that the fastest way to travel is by candle, and to use it, to light it, and to think of her and only her. He lights the candle and disappears before his father. Just imagine the places that you could go with a traveling candle. Tristan then lands in the crater on the woman with the necklace. He was thinking about his mom, but then all of a sudden Victoria and the shooting star popped into his head. Yvain, played by Danes, reveals she is the star and also reveals that she has not taken too warmly to Tristan. He promises her the last of the magical candle to help her get back up into the sky if she travels with him to Victoria for her birthday. So, the remaining brothers of Stormhold are off to find the necklace. Lamia is off to find the star, and Tristan is heading home with Yvain. Lamia meets the gnarly, gross witch on the road and puts an enchantment on her so she will not see, hear, touch, or smell the star. Tristan ties up Yvain so she can get some rest while he leaves to go find some food. A unicorn shows up and using his horn cuts the restraint, freeing her. Lamia sets a trap, creating an entire inn. Misery has drained Yvain and she's barely glowing. So Lamia must ensure that her heart is glowing before she cuts it out for maximum effectiveness. Discovering that Yvain is gone, Tristan catches a ride with one of the Stormhold brothers to the inn, where shortly before Yvain had arrived. Lamia gives Yvain a bath and offers to give her a massage. When the Stormhold brother arrives at the inn, he gets in the same bath as Yvain had been in. That is so fucking gross. Ugh. Reused human tea. Yvain enters the room and the Stormhold brother realizes that she's wearing the necklace. And he kind of just yells at her from the bathtub saying to give him the necklace. Like, you think given the gravity of the situation, you just jump out of the bathtub. Who cares if you're naked? I mean, if you must, use your hands to do that thing when you get out of the shower where you cover yourself. Lamia kills the Stormhold brother and Tristan and Yvain escape using the candle. They end up in the clouds halfway between his home and hers because he told Yvain to think of home. And then he calls her a stupid cow, which I thought was a bit harsh. For today's intermission, I thought it might be fun to do some constellation embroidery. Give it a chance. Let me explain, please. I wanted to always try embroidery, so I bought this starter kit on Etsy like years ago, and I never opened it. So let's try to do one tiny little star. So it has some instructions, has a hoop, and then, oh, it has little printed fabric. Here's the thing. I'm going to try to use one of the corner sides so that I can come back and maybe try to do this. Okay. Do that little here. I always wanted those really cute embroidered decorations with like constellations and brightly colored naughty words and flowery genitalia. Just all the stuff that wouldn't traditionally be embroidered. And despite my history of not naturally being really talented at artistic stuff, I thought, hey, you know what? I can make my own, and then I can like put it in my bathroom or something one day. So, when people come over, they could be like, oh, a giant pink and purple, the word cunt. Or, oh, look, a penis surrounded by roses and daisies. I might have to take them down if my gammers comes over. Nah. She's cool. Okay, this is taking way longer than I thought it would, and I'm not gonna make you wait around. I have a couple stitches and I put the tail end in the wrong way. Let me show you. The tiny couple stitches, the beginnings of a little star. Welcome back. Ow, motherfucker. Welcome back. While in the clouds, the two are captured by Captain Shakespeare, played by De Niro, a lightning wrangler sky vessel pirate. Shakespeare puts quite a performance on for his crew, pretending to push Tristan overboard and keep Yvain for his own creepy means in his quarters. But Shakespeare's the good guy. He's fancy. He's very fancy. He's gay. But he tries to hide his flamboyant self from his crew and all others by putting on a persona of a ruthless moraler and cold-blooded killer. He gives Tristan a makeover so that his crew won't recognize him. And I have to say, the part where he does Tristan's hair is my favorite moment in the entire film. It's so funny. It goes from short to long. That's brilliant. The pirates arrive at a port to deal some lightning, and Shakespeare learns of rumors going around that a star has fallen and realizes that it's Yvain. The crew return to the ship and they are introduced to Tristan as Shakespeare's nephew. On the trip back to the wall, Tristan learns how to fence, Yvain learns how to play the piano, and both of them learn how to catch lightning and dance. Captain Shakespeare tells Yvain that he knows who she is. As her emotions give her away, she's glowing and glowing more every day. I wonder why. Tristan cuts in while the two of them are dancing, and Yvain starts glowing very, very brightly. They arrive at the port nearest the wall, and Tristan and Yvain leave on foot. The last of the Stormhold brothers, we'll call him Stormhold Bro, who, even though he's the last brother alive, is still not king because he hasn't found the necklace to restore it, arrives at Shakespeare's ship. He finds Captain Shakespeare in his boudoir, indulging himself in play. Shakespeare's crew fights off the Stormhold crew, and they burst into Shakespeare's chambers, driving Stormhold Bro off of the boat. The crew tries to console Shakespeare as he believes that his reputation is ruined. But the crew reveals that they already knew he was a bit wopsy, their word not mine, and that he'll always be their captain no matter what. So sweet! Tristan and Yvain run into the gnarly gross witch on the road. They must make up time, and they ask her for a ride. The gnarly gross witch turns Tristan into a mouse, completely ignoring Yvain. He and Yvain travel in the carriage, and Yvain confesses to Tristan that she's in love with him, believing that he can't understand her. Arriving at the town just beyond the wall, Tristan is restored back into his human form. The two go to an inn as it's Victoria's birthday tomorrow, and Yvain must make herself presentable. Tristan is asleep and Yvain is in the bath, and then Tristan wakes up and goes and peeks on her in the bath. Cheeky little bugger. Tristan reveals to her that he understood what she said in the carriage, and he reveals that he loves her too, and then bow chicka wow wow. Okay, I'll stop. The next morning, Tristan cuts a piece of Yvain's hair off and puts it in a handkerchief, and then leaves a sleeping Yvain for a wall. Yvain wakes and asks the innkeeper where Tristan is, where he tells her a message that Tristan left for her. Something like he's going to see Victoria because he's sorry, but he met the love of his life and he wants to spend the rest of his life with her. Yvain leaves the inn in despair as the beautiful imprisoned stall wench, remember from way before, like back with Dunstan, remember? Tries to frantically get her attention. Tristan arrives at Victoria's, giving her the handkerchief, telling her to grow up and get over herself. And Victoria's all insulted, like, why would I even want this? It's just a handkerchief full of stardust. Tristan then realizes that Yvain cannot cross the wall, and he runs off. Yvain arrives at the wall, and just then the beautiful stall wench stops her. Lamia arrives and takes them both hostage back to her sisters. Tristan goes after them as well as Stormhold Bro. At the witch's lair, Yvain is strapped down. Stormhold Bro barges in and attacks the beautiful stall wench, believing that she's another witch, only to see that it's his long-lost sister Una. Una, Tristan's mother, and Tristan are reunited. And then it's battle time. The two other sisters are killed, and Stormhold Bro is also killed. Yvain is freed and is like, what do stars do? Shine. And she kills Lamia with her blinding light. Tristan goes to retrieve the necklace that had fallen from Yvain, where it turns red. As he is the last remaining heir, he inherits the throne and Yvain's heart. Today's credit shoutout is Dexter Fletcher, Captain Shakespeare's supportive, sarcastic crewmate who honestly makes all of Captain Shakespeare's scenes so much better and so much funnier. This movie has Ella Enchanted vibes, eh? There's action, there's romance, adventure, fantasy. It's got a little bit of everything. It's creative, it's fun, it's light, and I think we all need a little bit of light in our world. It's so sweet. I think it's a great movie for the family. And I'll give it a twice used bath out of a naughty embroidered decoration.